I am Erin Hamilton, and this is my video blog number 1 on copiers for IDS 403, term 16EW5. Printers and copiers are socially constructed in that most of the modern world, everyone uses them. From receipt printers for our morning coffee to copies of reports for important meetings each day in the corporate world. In a time before email, offices would send out memorandums. Without the use of copiers, they would not have been able to print these office advisories. Even before this, without printers, we moved away from news being from word of mouth to being able to have a copy of a newspaper in our hands each day or week. For this specific video blog, I have chosen to discuss the Xerox D95A, which leads the industry in light print production. Bruno Latour uses the door groom as an example of technology we created and then replaced. The need for someone to close the door behind us if we chose to leave it open is no longer needed. For the copier, I don't need someone to individually print each piece of paper. I can tell the printer to copy, print, and scan both color and black and white sheets and print up to 125 pages per minute. That may not sound like much, but the average home printer will print 21 pages per minute in just black and white. However, the D95A can go beyond printing on the page. With this, we are able to make trifold brochures, booklets, magazines, business cards, calendars. This even goes to say that the copier needs me to then plug it into the electricity so that it can run, which can then be traced back to electricity and the humans and technological systems such as Ebasco. Much like Ebasco, Xerox developed so much technology that it eventually became the standard. Humans over the course of the 20th century shaped the D95A into what has become today. Clients wanted to be able to easily print from computers or alter documents on the copier itself and at a faster rate as the years passed. We added capabilities to print color, to insert staples multiple ways, add multiple folds, and print different sizes. As the love of electronics increased, as did the need for the printers. We as humans craved bigger, better, and faster copiers. Mass production and a rising demand forced prices down over the decades, while quality and reliability improved. Specific social groups were and are still able to complete their work quickly with minimal headaches. What comes to mind the most are office secretaries and graphic designers. As a designer myself, I do not know how I would complete my work without one of these printers. With one of these, I can do any project that I can think of. Although the printer does do the work of putting the toner or ink on the pages, I first need to communicate with the printer what I want it to do. I cannot just simply say, hey, print this file. I actually need to go into my software or at the computer attached to the copier to convey what I want it to do. Conflicts for the printer and human include not using the right terminology with the software and programs. I may think of something, and because I might not be using the right settings or what I think are the right settings within my program, the finished product may not look how I want it to. Beyond this, I would say that the biggest conflict would be mechanical errors such as paper jams. The only thing we would have to do with the actual paper as humans, when it comes to just the copiers, is to load it into the compartment in which the printer will pick it up from. When even the smallest bit of paper does not follow the track it is supposed to, we end up with a jam because the rest of the printer still tries to send the piece through, and other pieces also. It takes a second for the copier to process that no sheets are going through. So because of small mechanical hiccups, this can also have the effect of frustration with the machinery. Particularly when we as humans have to clear paper jam, but we have somehow missed a piece of covering up a laser, we could close the doors and be ready to print again, but it won't print, and then we have to go back in there repeatedly. If we do not complete regular upkeep and maintenance of the machines, then we also run the risk of them breaking down completely. For example, if I have a repetitive paper jam where it's in the same spot all the time, I may not look at the printer itself to be a fault, but at me. Whether it be a rod out of place or roller might have moved, half a centimeter, half a millimeter, but those are the things that we control. Much like the door groom, we as humans have taken the human factor out of making individual copies, but the machine still needs us because it cannot power or maintain itself.